next we have Tanay Panja. Tanay is an 8th grader at Clague Middle School. Please give him a warm welcome.
Hi, my name is Tanay Panja, and I'm an 8th grade at Clague Middle School. I'm an American Computer Science League national finalist for the past 3 years in the high school division, and I am a USA Computing Olympiad Silver Division qualifier. When I was 13, I went to Lake Michigan. We would always pack our bathing suits, our sandals, and a picnic tube. I would remember seeing the seagulls circle the sky as the waves reached the shore. But other than that, I also noticed this. Waste. All that waste was being piled upon more waste and more waste and more waste, put to no use whatsoever. So then I thought, how can we use this for something more beneficial? And it turns out that there are units called microbial fuel cells, or MFCs, that do just that. They use the microbes in the waste to harvest electricity. This concept was developed by a famous Yale bacteriologist by the name of Dr. Barnett Cohen, and the potential is limitless. We could apply this to our local wastewater plants in order to clean our water, while also being able to generate electricity. So then why haven't we applied this yet to our local wastewater plants? And the answer is, MFCs themselves don't generate a lot of electricity. So what can we do to optimize electricity generation of these MFCs? And that's where wastewater meets technology. You see, when I was 7 years old, I started coding. And as I aged, I built on those skills, which actually widened my ability to solve real-world problems. I use Internet of Things and artificial intelligence to find ways to optimize these microbial fuel cells. So I began my quest towards developing a solution. First of all, I wanted to have reliable and accurate data. So I developed my own microbial fuel cell. You can see right here what my microbial fuel cell looks like. I used household materials to build it and assembled it in my basement. I got the waste from my local lake. Or not my local lake, but a local lake nearby me. It consisted of 2 chambers. An anode chamber, which consisted of waste, and a cathode chamber, which consisted of oxygen and water. In the anode chamber, the microbes would feed on organic material to produce tiny energized particles called electrons. These electrons would flow as electricity through a circuit to do work, such as lighting up a light bulb, before returning to the cathode chamber and binding with oxygen. Now moving on to the technology side of things, I developed my own Arduino IoT system. An IoT, or Internet of Things, is essentially any microcontroller or mini computer that can read and send data over the internet. So you can see here a schematic diagram of what my Arduino IoT system looks like. So in the bottom left corner, we have the Arduino Uno Wi-Fi, and we have 3 sensors paired with it. The sensors all measure temperature, humidity, water level, and voltage. The Arduino Uno Wi-Fi reads the sensor values from these sensors and sends it over the internet. My system can be also illustrated using 5 steps. First of all, the MFC generates electricity. Second of all, the Arduino IoT system reads the sensor values from that MFC Third of all, the Arduino IoT system sends this information to a web page on my personal web server. Fourth of all, the information from the web page would go to an Android app that I made. And fifth of all, which is the most important step, would be sending the voltage data specifically from that app to an online database called the Google Firebase for future analysis. Alright, now that I made my MFC and my Arduino IoT system, I was ready to put it into action. My MFC immediately started generating electricity, and my Arduino IoT system immediately started reading sensor values over a period of 4 months. So you can see here the voltage output results. You can notice that the voltage output measured by the Arduino IoT system increases by mid-October and achieves its peak by November. That's great. But then notice that by January, the voltage output dramatically decreases. This is due to the lack of organic material, since the microbes are feeding on too much of it. In an ideal environment, these microbial fuel cells would feed on organic material continuously. Now that I gathered all my voltage data, I needed to find some way to analyze it. To do this, I used machine learning through artificial intelligence. Specifically, I used an algorithm called an ARIMA algorithm, or Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average Model. This model uses previous values of voltage data to predict future values of voltage data. In conclusion, I developed a system that can accurately determine the voltage in order to optimize MFCs and a way to improve other aspects of renewable energy. But also, I just proved the fact that anyone can engineer. No matter what background, no matter what age, everyone from this audience can engineer. If you're willing to make a change through technology in your environment, I think that's one of the greatest things you can do to the world. Being passionate about a topic and willing to work towards a specific goal to be a change maker for both the environment and the community is the greatest thing of all. Thank you.